We've all been taught that spiritual growth happens within the walls of the church. Going to Sunday services, attending Bible study, going and working with church-sponsored programs. They have long been the go-to for drawing closer to God. But what if I told you that there's another way, one that does not rely on church programs? And it's actually right in front of you. It's just waiting to be embraced. In this video, I'm going to share a powerful, counterintuitive truth. Faith and work are not separate. They are meant to be integrated, especially for you and I as Christian entrepreneurs, professionals, women in the workplace and in the marketplace. When we can blend our faith and our business, not only do our spiritual lives thrive, but our work, it becomes more dynamic and a dynamic tool for kingdom impact. So stick around because you're going to learn how to align your faith and your business for greater purpose and personal fulfillment. And we're going to discover the steps that you can take to kind of make that shift today. Okay? Hey there, wise woman. This is Deneen TB, your faith and business growth strategist. It's a lot to say. I want to welcome you to another episode of the Truth in Business Show. My job is to help you, really, the God-centered business professional woman, to grow your faith so that it fuels the work or the business that you have and keeps you on mission for God. So if you're new here, hi. Make sure to subscribe, do all the things, and we're going to get started with that counterintuitive truth. Okay, I'm going to say it again. You don't need a church program to grow spiritually, especially when you have integrated your work and your faith, okay? The idea that church programs are primarily, or maybe you've been told only avenue for your spiritual growth, I actually believe is limiting. Sure, church is vital to have community for worship, for teaching, but spiritual growth does not have to be confined to that one space. As busy Christian women in business, at work, we cannot deal sometimes with this one-size-fits-all type of approach to our faith growth because God really does meet us where we are. And for many of us, that's where we spend most of our time, in the workplace, in the business world, in the professional realm. So, what if? Just think about this. What if you could experience spiritual growth that's directly tied to your everyday work? The work that God has called you to do. Now, this might sound unconventional to some ears, but that's the very essence of what the Great Commission is, bringing God's kingdom into every part of your life. Faith and business, they are not separate. They should be integrated as part of your daily journey. So, let's look at, first of all, why integrating your faith with your work actually matters, okay? Spiritual growth is really all about alignment. True spiritual growth really happens when your life, that includes your work, is aligned with God's will. When you bring your faith into your business practices, you're actually living out your purpose in a way that goes beyond those traditional programs that we were talking about. You begin to see the work not as a secular activity, but as a sacred calling. Secondly, your business is actually a ministry opportunity. The work that you do every day, Monday through Friday, is a ministry opportunity. It's just not a means of creating or making money. It's a ministry. Every client, every decision, every strategy is actually an opportunity to reflect God's love and the values that He has placed in each one of us. The Great Commission, as I talked about, is Jesus' command to go and make disciples of all nations, from Matthew 28. That wasn't limited to the preaching in the church buildings. It's a call to spread the message of Jesus wherever you are, in every sphere of life. And by integrating your faith into your business, you are the ambassador. You become the ambassador of Christ in the marketplace. I call it being on the front lines, where people who may never come to your church, they will see Jesus' hands and feet in you, because you'll be modeling his love, his grace, his truth through your actions and through your decisions, through the very words and ways that you are in your work. Third, you're going to unlock greater impact. Okay, I know many of us as Christian women, we feel overwhelmed. We're trying to juggle our faith and our work, and we're wondering how all of this kind of fits together. But by aligning the two, you actually unlock greater impact. Why? Because there's focus. Focus is the thing. Your work becomes more than just your job or the service industry that you're in or whatever you're doing. It becomes that conduit of God's love, of his purpose. And when your faith really shapes your business, the decisions that you make, how you treat people, you're able to actually create a legacy that matters. Well, it matters eternally, forever. Imagine that. Why else does it matter? Because you experience fulfillment, satisfaction like never before. The more you integrate your faith into your work, the more fulfillment you're actually going to experience. There's this deep sense of satisfaction that really comes from knowing that you're doing the work that God has for you, whether that's in the workforce, the marketplace, whatever you want to call it. When your business and your faith are that aligned, again, you'll never feel like you're separating the spiritual life from the rest of your life. We don't have silos in our life. What we have actually flows together and becomes very seamless. I hope you're getting that, okay? I hope you're getting that we talked about the why we need to be aligned in our faith and our business, okay? If you have any comments, I'd love to hear them. What sparked for you? That's awesome. Let me know. Now we're going to chat about how to align your faith and your business. So the why is great. That's the convincing part. That's the, aha, never realized that. Now we need some how-tos, right? We need to know, well, how do I understand this? How do I do this? I've got a few for you. So because now that we understand it, and why it's so crucial for us to integrate faith and business, we're going to dive into some ways so that you feel authentic and you can do something that is sustainable for you. Because we can be gung-ho about something and start doing it, and yes, I'm going to do this. But if we're not aligned, if we're not doing it in our way, it's not going to come out to be authentic or sustainable, okay? So the first thing is create your own personalized faith plan, what I call my PFP. The PFP is a tool designed to help you connect your faith with your business. And it's not about fitting into that one size fits all, because we're outside of church here growing our faith, right? We're not worried about the church programs. But it's a way for you to discover how God has uniquely designed you and how that design should influence both your spiritual life and your business life. Through the PFP, Personalized Faith Plan, you're going to identify your spiritual leadings and create a personalized approach that fits both your faith and also your work, your actual life, so that it can be sustainable. I'd love to give you more details about what the PFP can do for you. So what I have is a free training that's going to help you reframe. I love using this for reframe what traditional faith growth means and really frees you to grow in God the way He designed you. So you can check that out in the description if you want more information about that. Okay, second thing of the how is to set intentional faith-based goals. Now, I know we all set goals for our business. We also need to set them for our faith. You could start by setting just a clear intentions for how you want to integrate your faith, your business. So I have a few questions to ask you, or for you to ask yourself, better said. 1, how can I reflect Christ's love and values in my business decisions? And I suggest journaling these answers to these questions. Get it out of your head and onto paper. So how can I reflect Christ's love and value in my business decisions is the first question. The second question, how can I serve my clients with integrity and humility? Third, how does my business align with God's kingdom mission? This is just the beginning, but these intentions will guide your decisions and help you really stay focused on what truly matters. The third way for the how to do this is to incorporate prayer and reflection. Prayer isn't just something that happens before meal times or during your quiet time with God. In your business, prayer is actually a very powerful tool for alignment. Make it a habit to pray for guidance and wisdom and clarity as you navigate all these business things, the decisions you make, the partnerships you have, the daily tasks before going into a meeting, after you've talked to someone on the phone, whatever it is. Let prayer be your first response to each of these things, whether it's help or gratitude, not the last resort when you don't know what else to do. For example, before a big meeting or a client call, just take that moment to pray for God's presence, for his guidance, asking him to help you communicate effectively and to serve with integrity. If you're unsure about a business decision, seek God's wisdom through the prayer, asking him to reveal his will and provide peace in your heart. When you're facing all those challenges with either a team project, pray for unity, collaboration within your team, even if they're not all Christians. And ask for God to work through you and your colleagues. Very simple, right? But very effective. The fourth thing is to serve and lead with integrity. As you move forward in your business, let your actions reflect God's heart for service. That's all sales is how can I show up to serve you? This is what I have, right? Lead with integrity, humility, compassion. Whether you're leading a team of people, whether it's just serving your clients, or even just building your brand. Remember, your business is a reflection of Christ's love in action. Remember I said you're his hands and feet in the marketplace. So how do we do this? Continually assess your business practices through that spiritual lens. Ask yourself, are my decisions, are they in line with God's principles? Because reflecting on God's word and praying for insight can help you really navigate all those complexities. We know there's so much going on in our businesses. We can do it with a Christ-centered mindset, ensuring that every decision is aligned with his purpose for our life and for our business. So as you begin to implement these steps and align your faith, connect your faith and business, you may find yourself really longing for a deeper, more focused time, reflection, and realignment. Sometimes the busyness of life and work can make it really hard to have a full reset and reconnection with God, with his purposes for you, your life, and your business. And that's where I want to invite you to the Rooted Rhythm Retreat. The retreat is designed to give you the space and the time to step away from your daily routine, allowing you to realign your faith and your business in a way that, again, is intentional and becomes sustainable even when you leave the retreat. It's a chance to reset, to find clarity, and to deepen this connection with God so that you can return to your life, to your business, to your work, I don't want to forget professionals, with renewed purpose and a stronger sense of direction. At this retreat, I guarantee you're going to find clarity and peace and a renewed sense of purpose. You're going to leave also with practical tools, including that deeper understanding of how your business is connected to your calling and how you can live out the Great Commission in every area of your life. The retreat, it's more than just a break. It's a chance to, again, reset, realign for that greater kingdom impact that we all want to have. So Are you ready? Are you ready to integrate your faith with your business and live out the Great Commission in a way that really feels authentic and aligned? If you're longing for that deeper, more intentional connection between faith and work, the Rooted Rhythm Retreat is the next step for you. This is your chance to reset, realign, and build a business that not only honors God, but also makes a lasting impact. Don't miss this opportunity to step away, to gain clarity, and create a faith-centered business that truly reflects the calling on your life. All you can do today is join the wait list. Or if you'd like to discuss how the retreat can specifically benefit you and your business, I'd love for you to schedule a time with me. Both of those links are down in the description, and I would love to chat with you about it, or just get on the wait list and be the first to know when it's open. Together, we'll explore how you can grow spiritually without that church program, that traditional program. We're going to help you align your faith and your business for that greater kingdom impact. Let's do it, okay? Get on a call with me, sign up for the wait list, do what you can right now. Let me know down in the comments, how have you seen your faith and your business kind of intersect? And where do you feel the biggest disconnect? I'd love for you to share your thoughts down in the comments. I'd love to hear how you're working to align the two, faith and business. This is Deneen TV. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, be filled to overflowing.